it's covering up the thoughts. It's not it's subduing it, but you just cover it up. You put a blanket over somebody. All you do is put a blanket so they can't see.
Right, we're recording that.
Oh, no.
Right.
Well, just nothing to go a little while then.
So back another podcast, second
Yeah.
one,
Second podcast in.
part 2 to the first one.
Trilogy. And
Me-
that was 3 in it.
We just went down all over the place with the last one, didn't we? Not really into detail about what we wanted to speak about, which was the actual effects.
Yeah, but we talked about what caused trauma, what caused the psychosis of me, and we delved into quite a bit about stuff to do with like the trauma when I was a kid and that. But I think the effects of how it works on your brain and what it does to make and what makes you think that's real is a massive one that it's quite scary. And I talked to my tattooist about it today, and he's got psychosis. His ex-forces got psychosis, and a lot of it was drug fueled when he because he had PTSD from the forces. So he obviously dealt with that situation. Ex-forces being alcohol and crack cocaine in the end. And it's like fucking. It's just like it's quite mad how you try and subdue your brain to the way it's thinking, and the stuff that you think is actually real, because it could you could hear a voice in your head, and you could believe that's the true voice that you're hearing, and it's telling you to do the weirdest shit on it as well, and it does tell you to do the weirdest stuff to like to people that are around you, like could be innocent people around you when you're in such a bad place and you can't get out. Um, a bit like I was when I was fully like at home on my own, no job, no gym, no nothing. I was fully deep into bad psychosis then, and it sort of scared me. I had nothing to take my mind off of anything, and it just. I began to just think the most maddest thoughts and plotting the maddest things. It was quite scary.
So what would you say, like, was there a point where you believed in something now that you'd say, like, I can't believe, like, that sounds absolutely mad to think that I actually believed that during that time?
I thought I was so far in, and this is when I was closing my curtains, like not speaking to anybody in my street. Like I believed that everybody was like I think I said it on the last one, like a Truman Show. Like
Yeah.
I believe my whole Rob across the road was plotting against me. People down the road was talking about me when I'm walking past. They're whispering things about me, and I'm listening to it as I'm walking past. I'm not believing this, and this is making me feel like I need to defend myself. And I began to think that the whole world was against me. I was going on Facebook. I was thinking everyone was laughing at me on there, and it was just it's the maddest thing. And then the voices in your head are telling you, and going, "You need to sort this out, Gareth. You need to sort these people out. These people are laughing at you." And it's telling you that it's getting to that effect when you're so sick and you're so ill. And at this point, um, I was scared to take my antipsychotics because of the way that made me feel as well. Because I knew as soon as you got these thoughts, and what the psychiatric doctor said, it said as soon as you get these thoughts, you take these antipsychotics. But what they do, they make you feel like a dribbling mess. It made me so like, and I would be probably slurring, talking to you like I was on so many downers. It would make you like, oh, no, he ain't right. You know what I mean? He's either pissed or he's just so not right. But I was scared of that feeling as well. Like to stop with these thoughts that make me feel like that made me feel like I was a bit like you would vision somebody in a psychiatric unit. They're dosing you up to subdue you like that. And that's what scared me as well. And it's just like I was scared from every angle, every single angle. I didn't know what to do.
Do you think the psychosis made it worse because when you're about to take the tablets, did it start, the voices in your head start saying to you, like, don't take them, don't, or did you?
I just can't remember. It was the weird things is the voice is just it was like a devil on one shoulder and an angel on the other. You're trying to listen to both of them, but you just don't want that devil to get hold of you because it would tell you the worst things to do about people. And because I think I lived in such a violent upbringing, you want to do the most violent things to get out of this because you're a product of your own environment. Violence is usually in my head. Violence was going to sort everything out because nobody can touch me if they're trying to get at me. If I hit them, then that's going to get them away from me. Do you know what I mean? I think that's a bullying thing as well. When you get bullied, you have to stand up to the bullies, and I think probably that's the way my mind thought. But yeah, it was just hard to try and process everything.
If I was to talk to you when you were going through that, when you were in the deep moments of the psychosis, would there be anything I would notice, or is it just
No,
you'd be hiding it so well that I wouldn't have a clue?
I I spoke to my best friend about this monkey. He has been there through thick and thin. He's had to put up with so much shit looking out for me. I owe him my life, and I fully do. And it chokes me up really because that
Take your
that
time.
man that man didn't have to do half of what he did for me to keep me on this earth because I've lost it now.
That's all right. Take your time, mate.
What did you ask me again? I've gone now.
Whether you would know,
No,
like whether I would know
right. I'm
if.
back in the room. He didn't know. I'll be telling him what's going on in my head, and he didn't know. He didn't see any difference, and I'll be saying stuff to him I think's real, and he'd be trying to talk me down, and you just don't. He didn't. He did. Yeah, you just don't know what people's thinking. I could be just sort of. I spoke to him about this. I'll be talking to him, and I'm thinking, I just want to slit your throat. That's fucking not normal. Because all I wanted to do was push anger at everybody around me because I fucking hated what happened as I was growing up. I hated it. I hated what people did to me. Hated how people treated me. And when I all I wanted to do was just fight back. And sometimes it was the people that cared about me most. And I wouldn't even be thinking it's it's not like I hated them. It's just the voices telling me to do something, and I'm thinking that's fucking people who love me, not the people who was against me and hated me. And well, back then I thought that everybody was against me. But you know what I mean? It's not the people that love me that you should be thinking these thoughts about. But you can't help with what thoughts are coming into your head. I'll be going in my head. I was going, fucking hell, that's your best mate. What are you thinking this for? And then I'll be arguing with myself in my head. And it could be somebody else that you're with, and it's going. They don't like you. They're plotting against you, and it's telling you that. And you're thinking, fucking hell. And this is when I was fully in. Like, I got the odd thought all through my life. And I talked to my psychiatric doctor about this. And you sort of try and rationalize these thoughts. But when I when it was like I was into the cocaine, and I was into my bad times, and I was just hating people that hurt me. It was fucking not nice. It was not nice at all. The thoughts that was coming into my head. It was horrible. But nobody could see it. Nobody could see it. Surgical people see it. No one could.
So it wasn't like there was no signs of anything that you could pinpoint.
No. And I've asked my best mate, and I think we talked about it the other day about the thoughts you get in your head, and he talked about stuff as well. And it's just like they're unrational thoughts. This is like you would get locked up if you told a doctor this probably about 50 years ago. Easy, they'd lock you up. They'd dose the shit out of it. You know what I mean? And I've researched this and looked into why people get this, and it is the trauma you go through brings on the psychosis, and drinking alcohol and whatever else you're doing will make it infuse just even more. And you cannot rationalize the thoughts that go in your head, and it's absolutely bizarre. Some of the thoughts you think.
Do you think it comes from a place of protection? Like, yeah, your own head trying to protect you from what you've gone through.
Looking back at it now from the research, yeah, I think it is. It's you trying to protect yourself, but protect yourself from the ways my
Hmm.
brain was going. That much
In
violence.
only the only way that you knew with what you went through.
It was like watching a horror movie in my brain. Looking back at it now, looking back at my, and I was thinking, this is just this is just mental. Looking back on this and thinking, how did I think that was normal? I thought it was normal for me to go like this. I had friends that were saying we don't have to be around you anymore because of some of the stuff we were saying, and it was fucking bizarre. This is like I think I'd been closed in my house. I'd lost everything. I'd lost. I broke up from my marriage. I'd lost my kids basically, and that's when I lost everything. I thought, I need to cover this pain up. That's when I started getting into cocaine. I did it recreational. I don't want to go fucking lie. I don't need to lie to anybody because it will come out anyway. But this is when I got in it to cover up. Then I drank more. Then and I'm thinking, I want all these thoughts to stop because it felt like everyone was trying to hurt me, and I was just trying to cover it. And that's just a normal instinct when you're in fight or flight. You're just thinking, how am I going to get out of this? Hiding under my covers is not going to help me. Staying in my bed every day is not going to help me. So perhaps I just need to get subdue this through like medicate myself. Do you know what I mean?
It was then the self medication of the cocaine and the everything that led you down that even worse path.
It led me down a bad path because I sort of like got myself better, and I realised I was getting worse. So then you try and I went to Harbour Centre, and I remember being in the Harbour Centre. Abby was like my counsellor, and my drugs counsellor, and I knew that I was getting too far into it. I knew the thoughts was getting worse. It's all getting stronger. I had all my files done from the psychiatric stuff. They were doing my files, and I talked to them. I've always been honest, and I said I'm doing this because it's calming me, but then it's scaring, and then it gets to escalating with me because of my ADHD brain. I can't just do something by half, so I have to do it full on, and then it sort of escalates. And I've lost my brain again. I've lost what the question was. What was the question
Sorry.
again, Jordan?
Uh,
Flipping now, man.
um, once the cocaine, like you self medicated, and once the cocaine and the alcohol and everything started kicking in,
Yeah,
was then what led you down a worse path and
yeah,
spiraled everything.
massively, massively. The thought process you have then when you're in deep is bizarre. I was drinking on my own in my house when my kids wasn't there, right? And I fucking make this quite fucking clear. I never took anything around my fucking kids, right? And or drank because that needed to be a dad. And whenever my kids was around, it was like that wasn't there. Do you know what I mean? That thought process wasn't there. When they're gone, it was like the devil just come back. And I think, I fucking lost myself again.
So do you think the need to be a dad was more, well, obviously it was more important and it was a lot stronger than
Yes, yeah, it
what the
was.
thoughts it was going through?
Right, yeah. So it was rationalizing my thoughts of me being a dad because I knew how much of a my dad was, right? So I needed to make this better. But like when they go home and when you don't see them that much, then you start thinking again, then it starts coming back, then the voices get stronger, and then it's just like, for fuck's sake. I remember sat in my house shouting, fuck off. And I remember shouting because I just don't want the voices to carry on. And I remember being in my fucking
It's all right, take your time.
I remember being at my house and I just wanted to stop. And I had medication still in my cupboards. And I just thought I just want this all to fucking stop. And I just wanted the voices to stop this shit. I just wanted to see my kids every fucking day. I just wanted to be a dad. That's all I wanted to be. A fucking dad. Just fucking normal. Just all this pain and shit to stop. I fucking hated my dad and I wanted that all to go away. I just wanted him to fucking disappear off the earth. And I just sat there I sat there and I took every fucking tablet in my cupboard. And looking back on that now, how selfish that makes me fucking feel. I took every fucking one of them tablets. And my fucking best mate was fucking there all the time for me. Come around the next morning, I drunk a litre of vodka and fucking done that straight away. Took all them tablets, antipsychotics, trazodone, diazepam, and took the fucking lot. And he come round, said, I've been worried about you. He fucking knows every single time. Knows. All the fucking pill cases all over my floor. He said, you shouldn't even be here. I just thought the best way was to fucking go. It'd be better for everyone. No one needs me here. And I look back on that now, and I remember when my mum took an overdose when I was a kid. I thought, you selfish bitch. You took an overdose, didn't give a fuck about your kids. And looking back on that now, I think that was selfish. That was a selfish move. But all I wanted is just all this to stop, all this shit in my brain to stop. I just wanted it to go. It's fucking hard. And nobody understands that. Nobody understands how your brain works because nobody can see you. If you've got a broken arm, people can see that. They can't see what's going on in your fucking head, though. It was a full-on horror show in my head constantly. Oh, there was so much violence going on in my head. It was unbelievable. It's fucking horrible. Well, I'm back.
Sorry. I'm because and for anyone that's listening, unless you've been through something like this, you're never going to understand what it's like.
No.
Trying to get this is what I want to do. I want to try and get an understanding, and it takes a lot of courage to sit there, speak, and know this is going to go out and talk about what you've gone through.
Because I just want to just make people just fucking realise you can get around this. We're in the process of helping somebody at the moment. It's in the same place I'm in now. I was in the enemy. And it's, you don't want them to go through that path. You don't want them to get to that point. And I don't want. I'm never ever going to get to that point in my head. And I've had a little glimpse when I've been burnt out, and I had a glimpse the other day of these thoughts going into your head, going telling you that nothing's real around you, like your Truman Show again. And I'm going, fuck off! You're not coming back into my head again. You're not going to, because I don't need my medication to subdue me. I don't need any medication. I'm not taking any downers or nothing. Any barbiturates that the flipping doctors give me. I'm not taking anything, nothing. And I just don't want somebody to think that there's no way out. And if I can put everything on the table, I've done this and talked to psychology before, a couple of years ago, to psychology students down in City College. I've opened my fucking self up before, but not told this part of it. And do you know what? If I helped them, which I did, then I'd rather fucking put it all on the table. I've got nothing to hide from nobody because I've come back from every situation. I've never put anybody in jeopardy all through my life because I took myself out of a situation when I was gonna hurt myself or anybody else. Took myself out of the gym, always did. Took myself away, got myself better, got myself back, and I've always done that. And that's not hurting people physically. That's hurting people like with my actions around being a bit tetchy, being a bit like can't cope with situations, can't deal with life. I've done that because I know by your actions could hurt others. So if I could do something now that can show, yeah, I've said it to someone today that I'm helping. I said, we've all acted assholes in our past. You cannot change your past, but you can change your future. Your future is what you change for people. And if I've acted a knob before, I've gone back and I've apologized for all the people I've acted a knob to. And if I haven't, if certain things, I will fucking do it when I meet them again. Do you know what I mean? I just want to help others by fucking putting my heart and soul on the table. Yeah, one person I owe my fucking life to is my best mate. My best mate. He's like a brother. And it's not taking nothing away from my real brother, because me and him got closer and closer as we got older. But this man has been there through fucking every single situation that normal people should have to go through. And we've both lived a fucking, do you know what I mean? A cancerous egg life. What it used to be. Do you know what I mean? You have to fucking try and help each other. That's all you do.
And it goes back to that, what we said on the first one, the community and the
Yeah,
support
it
around
does.
you.
It
But
does.
having that support around you is one of the most important things for
It,
people.
it is. It's having important. It's community. It's what we lack at the moment. It's community. And people that are struggling are fucking struggling with their own thoughts. If we actually just fucking stop someone in the corner and look like having a bad day and saying you're all right, which you would in the community, then life would be a lot easier. It's fucking, yeah.
I want to go back to the medication, because I was having a conversation with someone the other day about a medication, as antipsychotic that people take, and there's a common side effect with the antipsychotic. I can't remember what it's called, but it can cause people to see things like. So there's one person that was saying they literally saw like dead people walking around in the streets, because they were taking that antipsychotic, and apparently the rules for this antipsychotic were massively laxed over COVID because people couldn't meet up. They couldn't go through the rigorous sort of checks and everything with people. And now we've gone past COVID. Obviously, the rules haven't been tightened up again.
I think it's wrong, really. I think a lot of these problems before they dish out the tablets should be addressed totally fucking different. And not enough of getting to the ground roots of it is dealt with. That's the thing that's always put on a waiting list till last, and then they give you all this shit to start with. Fire loads of tablets at you. Now I should have never been on diazepam for 22 years. Never. Do you know what I mean? That's just wrong, because I was not dealing with life. Looking back on it now, I know why, and it's because I was just angry. I was just an angry person, blaming everybody else for my childhood, blaming everyone. And I was getting anxious, anxiety, overloading my brain. And probably what they said, because the way they think they said I'm ADHD, and the way my thought process is, I couldn't deal with that either. So I think they just fired too many tablets at you. Don't actually sit down and just try and get to the root of it straight away, which is, I don't think it's that good. The counselling comes in a lot later, and if you have counselling, you're waiting fucking ages. So then, before you know it, you're either a drug addict or an alcoholic, which you see a lot now. And then the counselling part's still on hose. So then you end up in fucking places like the Harbour Centre or like wherever you live. Do you know what I mean? And it's just fucked up. It's not in the right cycle. It never has been. I don't think it never has been in the right cycle. It should be.
And I forgot what I was going to say then. So, do you think they're trying to fix the symptoms of the issue rather than the root cause? So they're trying to fix like all the voices, trying to subdue people, this medication is trying to reduce the thoughts, but not tackle the reason why the thoughts are coming.
It's covering up the thoughts. It's not it's subduing it, but you just cover it up. You put a blanket over somebody. All you do is put a blanket so they can't see.
Like burying his head in the sand.
Burying your head in the sand. That's all they're doing, is they're covering up. Oh, we don't have to deal with that yet, so we'll just give you some downers to make you just feel totally shit and fucking monged out, so you cannot function. That's basically what they're doing. Do you know what I mean? They might as well hypno you. It's exactly the same shit, because they're subduing your brain that much. You're just gone. I did stupid things with my antipsychotics. In the end, I ended up snorting them, and it would just, you'd be gone. You're gone. Do you know what I mean? And I'm thinking, fucking, this ain't right. This ain't right. What they're giving me, and how it's making me look, how it's making me be. And I'm trying to run. When I first had antipsychotics, when they diagnosed me, I'm still trying to run a business. And then you try to talk when you're slurring, they think you're pissed. I wasn't drinking then. My drinking spats have always gone in spats. Whenever I'm in trouble, whenever I'm dealing with things in my head, whenever I'm in a broken relationship, or I'm splitting up with somebody, that's when I binge. That always has been the case. I never have been a drinker every day. And that hasn't got hold of me. Same with drugs. It used to be binging. Whenever I was in a bad place, I never took it every day, except when I got to a point where I did get hooked on cocaine. But it's always trying to just cover up stuff, and I think, to be honest, I think they should do the counselling first before they give you something. I don't know. It's just it feels like you're trying to fire way too much here. If they had you in to talk to
Hmm.
you better and not give you half hour of their time, half hour of their doctor's time, well, not even half hour now. It's probably about 10 minutes. If they spent a bit longer with you, like about an hour, and got to the roots and spoke to you a bit more, then they're probably better deal with it a bit better. It's just all too rushed, all too rushed. Fire drugs at them, then we deal with whatever we can after.
Yeah, I think that's similar to a lot of things now. Like even injuries, illnesses, everything that is just chuck drugs and hope that it gets solved. And there's obviously reasons for it. I think for a lot of people, they want just that quick fix. They just want it gone. Um,
Before you know it, they're hooked on it.
yeah, and I think maybe coming from a point of like, if more people understood what they were going through, you could sit down and say that at the end of the day, this isn't going to be an easy fix. This isn't going to be a quick thing, but I'm going to be here every step of the way, and we're going to get through this together. If people can have that hope and see that there is chance of getting better,
Yeah. You're not
then
alone.
yeah, and then then suddenly they'll be, I think, more open to taking longer to get better because they know, like for example, they know they've sat down with people like you and understood the situation that, and they now maybe not understand is the right word because unless you go through it, you're never going to understand it. But at least have a bit more of appreciation and a little bit more knowledge to know this is how we can go about fixing it. This is what you may feel. This
Yeah.
is what you may come across, rather than just 10 minutes or no, not even 10 minutes. Sometimes it's just
No,
e-consult,
I know.
a
Like
phone call
that.
from the receptionist to say, "Oh yeah, your drugs are here. Go pick them up," and then that's it.
I think like when you join groups and you join like when I went to options, which is a part of secondary care that they put me in, I think even talking with other people that's in the same boat as you helps. When you know that somebody else is thinking the same thoughts as you, that helps. Do you know what I mean? But these things need to be brought in a bit quicker. Like, or there needs to be more groups that you can join, like more. And fucking oddly enough, it's out of the NHS's hands. More groups that people can go to and talk. Um, and like the walk and talks you can do, and somebody saying, not scared to say, I've been hearing voices telling me to do something, and just realizing they can talk to somebody that's feeling that way. You're
Hmm.
not fucking a lunatic. Nobody's going to think you're horrible because they've been through that and they know that there is a way out of this and turning yourself around. And I think that's going to be the way forward for people because drugging people is not fucking the way forward. It's not at all. It, alcohol should be used as a recreational drug that you should drink in not even once a week. Do you know what I mean? You should just drink it with friends
Yeah,
to have a laugh,
socially.
socially drink it, and that should be it. People shouldn't be dependent on this and drugs to get them through the day because they're struggling with their own thoughts. Do you know what I mean? And this is where other things like people joining art groups, exercise groups, dance
Hmm.
groups, it's about them feeling not alone. And yeah, how did you get out of this? And someone could say, yeah, I dealt with it through dance. And you meet people and you talk to people and they deal with things in different ways and their traumas. And if somebody's locked in their own house and they're left to their own devices and thinking their own thoughts, they're going to go mental. And that's just, they're going to. But if they feel they're part of something, they're joining something, yes, they will get these thoughts, but if they talk about it with somebody else that's having the same thoughts, then they're both rationalizers and get through this. I think they massively will.
And I think as well, it's a lot of thing like, for example, if you have a can of something and you shake it, and then and you don't sort of, you keep it closed and you keep it closed, suddenly the moment you open it, it's going to explode.
Yeah.
Whereas if you talk, it's just letting that can open a little bit just to relieve. It's not going to solve, and it might not solve anything, but it will relieve a little bit of pressure.
Yeah.
So then suddenly you don't feel like you're tackling it again alone. And all these groups, all these exercise groups, give you that sense of community, that sense of purpose, and give you just an outlet as well. Not even necessarily to talk about like what you're going through mentally, but just to be out there and just for an hour or whatever, however long it is, to have that gap where nothing nothing else other than what you're doing matters. So for me, like for example, in the gym, if you've got, I don't know, example, 60 kilos on a bar above you on your back, and you're thinking about anything else other than that 60 kilos on your back, you're going to get crushed. So you haven't got a choice but to think about what you're doing right in that moment.
Yeah.
So nothing else matters in that moment. Same with if you're working hard like boxing. If you're breathing out your breathing and you're blowing out your ass, you're gonna feel a lot better just from the focus of like just for an hour, just forget about everything else.
Yeah. It is. Yeah. I think that stimulate your brain. You've got to stimulate your brain to forget about the trauma. And that, look, yeah, some trauma you will never forget about, but there'll be a way to get around it, and it will be. It's just finding the therapy and the NHS having the time to find therapy for you that works for you. Because some therapy works for others, and some won't work at all for some people. Do you know what I mean? It's finding that therapy and having the time to sit down with people and just working different things. It's like a jigsaw puzzle, isn't it? Trying to find the bit that you've lost or missed. You've got to find that bit.
And I think there's obviously always going to be logistical issues when it comes to all the like the NHS and stuff. There's going to be like money and time and all that sort of stuff that's going to be the issues. And going from a place where we are at the moment with giving people medication and the free flow of medication to, it almost feels like to me trying to tackle mental health issues like the psychosis, like bipolar, PTSD, all these other ones. It feels like they're trying to tackle them the same as if you just had, I say just, it sounds like if you, I don't know, had a serious incident and you broke your leg or you broke your arm and they give you the medication to subdue the pain.
Yeah.
It feels like to me that they're trying to treat it very similar.
Yeah, they are.
And in the case of the broken bone or the broken, that's going to heal over time. But the root cause of why you're going through what you're going through in your head isn't going to heal over time, because it's like I listened to another podcast by Chris Williamson, Modern Wisdom, and
Yeah.
he talks about like trying to think yourself out of a mental health issue is like trying to sniff yourself out of a cocaine addiction. It's like it's not going to work.
It's not. It's not. It's addressing these problems, and it's about being strong as well. Because as soon as you give up, right, this is why I use that motto: "Never give up" in the gym, and or did. We had it at the back of our tops because I thought if I give up, they've won. They've won. The people that have hurt me have won, and you can't give up. You can't give up to your way your brain thinks. You can't give up to your problems that you're going through. You've got to stand there and fight a bit. And sometimes when you feel vulnerable, you don't want to fight, or you've been broken down, or you've lost somebody, or you just want to give up. And that's just normal with people. They just want to give up. They don't want to carry on because they're hurting. But I think if you start believing in yourself a bit more, I think you'll get through anything. And a lot of people are just not believing, they're struggling, life's getting really hard, paying for things is getting hard. And just talking to people is the way forward to sort these problems out. Then resolving them with different ways, like all these different therapies. Meditation is a massive one that can help you.
Mhm.
And going to different groups. Not every
Yoga.
group will help you. Like I went into Road to Recovery and Cocaine Anonymous. It was good. They taught me a lot of values, but it wasn't for me. Do you know what I mean? I knew a lot of people in there. That wasn't for me. But I want somebody that we're dealing with, working with at the moment. He needs that structure that would work for him.
Hmm.
All these groups out there. There's some people that just give up once they've gone to one group and they go, "Oh, these these groups will never help me, but they will. You just got to find the right one. Same as you're trying to look for the right medication. The right, do you know what I mean? The right way to get around things. I think people give up too easy. You've got to never give up. You've got to think, no, I will get through this, but it's going to take me a bit longer. And sometimes people just go, oh, fuck it, I'll just drink anyway. And that'll help me.
Do you think that where you said like people give up too easily, do you think that comes from what they've been through? And do you think it's not easier, but you've had the life lessons? So like for example, being in the ring, when you're in the ring, if you give up in that moment, you're gonna be in a
You're gonna
10
get
times
hurt.
worse. Yeah. So do you think that comes from your experiences, and that's why not you found it easier, because that's the wrong word, but you were able to hold on for that little bit longer, and luckily long enough to see yourself through it and get through it?
I don't know what it is. I think it may be my brain the way it is. My brain is always challenged, and it never wants to. I'll always someone say to it, I'll be thinking, oh, no, I could do that. I'll do that anyway, just to prove you wrong. And I did it in school. Always used to say, because I'm acting 100 miles an hour. Oh yeah, you're playing around. I'm not. My brain just cannot function on one thing. You at me again, innit? Sit down and talk to me a bit and find out what's stimulating me. I think I've just always wanted to drive myself, even though people try and put me down, and they did. Everywhere I moved to, people try and put you down. New kid, pick on him, hit him, whatever else. I think if you go, no, I can't give up. I can't, and I won't. I think we've all got it in us, but we've just got to believe.
Mm-hmm.
We've got to believe, and all I wanted was somebody behind me, like a mum and dad, to go, fucking proud of you. You keep on going because you're doing what you're doing is good. Never had that. So I think I've done it myself.
Mm-hmm.
I've talked to myself through it. My brother just was a piss taker, just take a piss at me, whether I did break dance and whatever else, take a piss at me. And I thought, fuck yeah, I'll do it anyway. I'll do this because I want to prove you wrong as well. Do you know what I mean? I'm trying to prove myself wrong as well. Because as easy as it is to give up, and I did give up. I took that overdose. I was a wanker now, looking at it. Do you know what I mean? But I think you just got to just dig in there, because every problem will have a solution. It will have a solution. I know there's illnesses that don't have solutions, but there's a lot of problems that are out there that will have a solution. And I've always been a big believer in that. That just don't give up, because you will get through it in the end. You will get through it.
Yeah, and I think it like mentally, being able to you work with it and accept, because you always say that you're never going to go through, you're always going to have the voices, you're always going to have those moments where you're, I don't know, like a little bit more tired than usual, or a little bit like you've had a stressful week at work or whatever, and then those voices are going to start coming back, and you've just got to bat them away again and get them gone
They're
before
not
they.
voices they're just thoughts now. When I've talked to a lot of people that have been cocaine and crack addicts, I don't know what it is with that drug. It makes you hear the voices so stronger. But I believe certain situations are right. And the other week it was, I think it's a little bit drunk, and it was telling me, "No, you need to sort this out." But I didn't. I don't need to sort nothing out. Just need to smile. Nobody's gonna take my energy out of me. I've been to hell. No one's ever gonna take me out, and I've been to hell. Do you know what I mean? And I've come back from that. Nobody can make me feel any worse than how I felt in my life and how I felt about myself. So I'll never go back there. So I just sort of like bat my thoughts away now. I'm to go, and I tell my brain to fuck off. You're not even going to come back into my head. You're not, them thoughts are not going to come back. I'm not going to allow you to come back.
Do you think you've got the confidence now, because you've gone through it for so many years? You've got the confidence to know exactly what to do, to how to tackle your own head and your own voices,
With myself,
and you've
yeah,
got
I
the
have.
tools. You've
With
got the.
myself, yeah. I think I have. I think I've got coping mechanisms that I'm dealing with. I don't need to go to drinking drugs when I'm in a bad place. That is the worst thing to do.
Mhm.
The worst thing to do. Because that will bring it all back, and it will let it in. It will open a door that I won't be able to close again, and I can't. I'm not going to do that. Why should I do that? I don't need to. I don't need to. And if I've had a bad day, it's a bad day, for fuck's sake. You know, everyone has bad days.
Hmm.
I don't need to just subdue myself because I'm having a bad day. I need to go think to myself, it turned good in a minute, 'cause it always does. When I've looked back at patterns, it always has ended up working all right. Yes, we all get bad days, not to think, oh my God, I've just got to think, so what? So what? What's the worst that could happen? Do you know what I mean? If I had to sleep in a tent tomorrow because someone took me out, so what? I've got a tent. Do you know what I mean? So what?
Hmm.
I'm drying my tent and I'll have to get some food. So I don't know. Do you know what I mean?
Just always a way around.
Everything. It's
Yeah,
there is.
I think there's always a way of reframing every single situation. In the moment, probably is very, very,
No, it's
very
the worst
difficult.
thing ever. Yeah.
But afterwards, you can. I think any situation you can look back and go, no, I can change it. I can reframe it to be a positive thing.
You can do. Look, I know there's some illnesses you cannot work around, and people like I've lost a lot of good friends for illnesses, and that's not something that we can work around. You know what I mean? That's an illness. You get this no way two ways about it. There's a lot of situations in life that people think are the worst things ever when they're not. We can get around this. A lot of people just need to join together and talk more with each other, and we can all get around this together. You know what I mean? If people take a piss out of you because you're struggling, you don't need. They're just taking your energy. Just laugh at them,
Hmm.
all right? Because you are struggling, just laugh at them. They're probably struggling more. That's why they're trying to take a piss out of you. Do you know what I mean? So I just think working together with people talking a lot more, and maybe maybe people talking in schools and things like that to kids that are on the wrong path and stuff and that they're probably thinking bad thoughts. You need to get this across and people talking more. I just think we're not talking enough. And when we do, we're not telling people the truth. That's what I think.
Yeah, definitely. And also going slightly back to the it's what I'm doing at the moment with my like
Yeah,
recording myself. Yeah,
you're doing well doing that. Do you know what I
and
mean? Doing well.
it's like just recording myself and speaking for me was a realization, a tackle to think that actually making me realize that people, in one way of saying it, are too selfish to take the piss out of you for doing something because they're worrying about themselves. Not selfish in terms of a negative way, but selfish in terms of they've got their own lives to worry about. They've got their own family. They've got their own jobs to worry about. They've got their own troubles to worry about. So if they've then got suddenly enough time to worry about what you're doing, it's getting on here. If they've got enough time to worry about what you're doing, then clearly that shows more about them than it does
Massively.
about you.
Massively. You said that to me the other day, actually. And it is true. It is true. And for you not I've never been the most confident. I know I may come across as confident as hell, but I'm not, right? I've only just built my confidence over the last few years more. Um, it's been a front, a lot of it. A lot of it's a front. Um, but your confidence is built so much when you're doing these videos now. It's like I'm like a proud older brother looking at you, thinking, "Yeah, he's doing it now. I'm happy with that. I'm buzzing that because it's not nice. I never used to be able to stand up in school, read out a book, do whatever else. I could do stuff, fun things with my friends. I could stand up and break dance in front of you or whatever else. You know what I mean? Or play the drums. But it's having that confidence to get there, and it takes a lot for someone to get there. And if you haven't got no parents support giving you that confidence, go on, you can do this. You can do it, and it's quite hard on your own. And even if your parents are like that, sometimes you're not listening to them. You're thinking, oh, they all say that. And they're all saying stuff like that,
Mhm.
and you're still struggling yourself. So I mean, maybe it's like a best friend that can say it to you. It's it's just about building people's confidence at the end of the day. Because when everyone's too easy to put people down,
Mhm.
you know, and I think that's just a dick move. But there you go. Just try and give someone a bit of, give people a bit of praise, a bit more. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, too many people are worrying about being negative all the time, and
Yeah,
they'll leave a bad review, but then you never see any good reviews written. And it's nice to just put something nice every so often.
yeah. If you have a meal and it's shit, then just
Just to
do you know
carry
what I
on.
mean?
Yeah,
Just carry on. It's don't go there again. It's
yeah.
pretty simple, isn't it? Don't put negativity out there, right?
Right, I think we'll
Yeah,
cut that. We'll
that's like
cut that a second. The part two.
yeah, nice one,
I
mate.
think that was quite good.
Right, I'm gonna go back to work.